All right, welcome back. It's time for newspaper review. Now let's get into it quickly. We're being joined by Dele Fanimo, who is a reporter and a VOP in-house political analyst. Good morning to you once again. Thanks for joining us. Now let's get into
Good morning.
the paper proper. The Guardian newspaper is on the table, the Vanguard as well. Chukuma is with Business Day. Now from the Guardian, I beg your pardon, the banner headline here reads, Tinubu's foreign missions, how Nigeria's internal crisis, narrow foreign policy, international repute. Tinubu's many troubles, and I particularly find that photo up there quite hilarious. Reminds me of Gulliver Travels and the Lilliputians. Well, that one has the president lying, then the tags of insecurity, power, inflation, poverty, corruption, fuel crisis, crime, economy, all of them around the picture of the president there. Well, away from that one, some other headlines here. October 1, FG orders low-key anniversary, cites national hardship. Reps push for independent candidacy ahead of 2027 poll. Experts warn of looming crisis as 4 trillion naira yearly wage bill sparks debt fears. Jonathan debunks disappearance of $49.8 billion during his tenure. Stolen crude, IOC's indebtedness to FG hit $7 billion. Ohaneze flares Southeast governors over Kanu's continued detention. Reps decry NNPC Dangote price secrecy. Wants marketers to lift fuel from refinery. All right, gentlemen, these are the headlines here. We've been talking about the IOCs and NEITI and its revelation that monies are being owed to the Nigerian government. We also have, some of these conversations, and also the conversation around NNPC and the price, the conflict between the refinery and the revelation of how much NNPC Dangote fuel to NNPC and Nigerians. All of this conversation. Some are of the opinion that it's all a distraction, really.
You see, for me, the Dangote NNPC saga should also be at the front burner. You know why I say that? The tax royalties and also, some other issues with NEITI's revelation is just a long-term thing. You understand?
It's a long-term thing.
It's a long-term thing. But the immediate thing that affects Nigerians is this Dangote NNPCL confusion. I'll call it confusion because why would somebody who want to sell his product not declare to Nigerians how much he's selling his product? It shouldn't be in the coven. Dangote, I keep saying it, and at the risk of sounding like a broken record, is not ready yet. Look at let's trace the trail from we are rolling out in 48 hours to on September 15 we are rolling out. Dangote is selling for me a social amount. It's not true. If you say somebody is saying, if somebody is lying against you, the only is on you to prove that this is the real picture. You are saying 898 is not what you are selling to NNPC. Tell Nigerians how much you are selling to NNPC so that we can now know who is lying. You keep shrouding everything in secrecy and Nigerians are suffering. At a point, you said, Dangote said NNPCL wants to be the sole buyer of his commodity. NNPC said no. IPMA said because of these tight conditions, they are going out to buy fuel to import. And you have 650,000 barrels per day refinery, which translates, by the time you add 154 is equal to 1 barrel. By the time you add 154, you multiply it by 650,000 barrels. You have more than enough to supply Nigerians, though even export. Yet, 3 months after, this man said he was going to roll out in June. We are closing on to October now. You have not rolled out. And 3 months, is 3 months not sufficient enough for this rollout?
It's really confusing.
So there's so much confusion.
So much
we don't even know what is going on. We don't know who to hold.
Just the other day, the Dangote refinery said it had over 300 trucks, and they were loading, and they had loaded over about 100, and these trucks were supposed to go into.
He said in 3 days that he had loaded 110
yes, thank you very much.
liters. Where is this 110 million liters?
So it's
no, but the fuel queues are disappearing.
Fuel queues are yes, they are disappearing.
About, loading fuel queues are disappearing.
Fuel queues
but it's
are
also
disappearing.
good that the House of Representatives has waded into it. But I don't know how far they can travel with this. They have asked the Dangote refinery and NPCL to resolve the pricing issue. Let us know how much that we are buying fuel. And they've also said that independent marketers should be able to buy from Dangote refinery. I think, is it the reps also that urged Dangote to build tank farms across the nation?
Yes, they are urging him to build tank farms.
To build tank farms so that they can ease distribution, I don't know how that will happen when they build a tank farm.
I don't know if that's their business really.
They are recommending.
They are advising.
It's advisory.
You understand?
But my concern with that
also
is if you
their
build
oversight functions.
Yes, if you build over NNPCL.
Yes, over
NNPCL. If Dangote builds tank farms, like he builds one in Port Harcourt, he builds another one
maybe in
Kaduna, and another one probably in Maiduguri.
Yes.
So is he going to build how is he going to supply the tank farms? Is he going to build pipelines or what into those tank farms and all of that? These are logistic issues.
Yes, they are logistic. It can be addressed because there's improvement in rail system now.
Okay.
Other than use tankers.
Pipelines and tankers.
Yes, you can also do the rail cargo thing.
So it's a good thing that the reps House of Representatives has waded into this. Let's see. It's the one conversation that is now affecting the psyche of Nigeria.
Exactly.
Every day we keep talking about.
Do you know that the restiveness would have been resolved if Dangote comes out today to say, I am selling at this amount. Or if man can come, NNPC can come, it will ease the whole problem.
But you see the problem is that NNPC has said, this is how much we are buying.
And
but after refuting it, they didn't say this is how much we are selling.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So why should it
remember what he did say was that this is the particular one NNPC was complaining about that he got for 800 and a little over
98
naira was he got it he got that crude in dollars.
Moses, that was not the issue. It should not preclude you from telling us how much did you sell to NNPC.
Well, he did say when he starts receiving crude in naira.
No, you are missing the point. The point is, we sold fuel. We bought fuel from Dangote refinery, 898 naira.
No, it is not true. I sold for 600.
Simple. The matter will end. The matter will simply end. So, because of this, it tells Nigerians that there is some kind of underground, subterranean influences, trying to cause problems for not just for Nigerians, but for NNPCL. Because every other day, the reputation of NNPCL keeps taking a nosedive. To the point that now, even when they are telling the truth, or even when they are trying to tell the truth, Nigerians don't believe them anymore.
That is it.
Okay.
And that's why
I wonder what their corporate communications department is doing. The man that heads it, Olufemi Shonoye, has within 3 weeks he made 3 different statements and countered himself on those 3 different statements.
Now.
I mean, it shouldn't be now. Corporate communications is a learn that we have
not been told.
You have constantly said NNPC, Dangote refinery is not ready, and they're only playing delay tactics. That's what you've constantly said. But anyway,
I I am just guessing, and I'm not a clairvoyant person, but I want to believe that this October will change the game, because he has promised that he will start using Naira crude sale as from October 1st. So maybe he will be confident enough to disclose to us how much he's receiving it. Because as of today, crude oil in the international market is $74.7. So whatever is the variation, he should tell us by October 1st how much is going to sell now that he's going to be processing the crude that is coming in Naira.
Okay, we have very interesting stories in the Guardian. And talking about October 1st, the federal government has ordered low-key anniversary, cites national hardship.
That's a recognition of the fact that they now know that we are suffering.
I think
they also cited low-key celebration during the Independence Day, but we saw how low-key that was. Please, can I have the Vanguard? We saw how low-key that was because, you wanted this? Yes. We saw how low-key that was when they were gathered together in a hall with exquisite dishes served to them, and Nigerians had to watch on TV. That didn't seem low-key at all. So calling for low-key celebration.
There's also an Ashwebi,
There is an Ashwebi. There is an Ashwebi that the First Lady, has the national attire, Nigeria's national attire. But I still wonder how they intend to do that. Will it be given to Nigerians free of charge, or will Nigerians have to pay something to get it? Now, when you pay to get it, are there tailors stationed around? Just where we have CNG outlets.
Where is the fact that
where is the CNG outlet?
No, Mr. Fanimo, wait. The fact that there is national hardship doesn't mean that Nigerians are all going naked. We still sew clothes.
When we're looking for money to feed.
But you are not going naked.
Well,
people in the textile industry are still doing business.
Some Nigerians are wearing rags.
Basically. They still cover their nakedness. No, what I'm saying is, in light of the fact that you asked, whether if they give to Nigerians, whether they will also give money or provide tailors to do that. But I think let's look at the larger conversation on low-key independence celebration. Like Mr. Fanimo said, it is good that the government has now realized that
we are suffering.
So, come October 1, when Nigerians probably go into the streets to protest peacefully, against hardship, I expect that the federal government, or that the president, in his independence and speech, should also tell Nigerians, look, it's needless, to pour into the streets again to protest. We understand the hardship that is facing everybody. And as a result of that, look, I have been able to cut down on this, cut down on this, because that is essentially what is hiking Nigerians. Nigerians are crying that they are hungry, and the government doesn't seem to... Feeding fat, When a Senate president comes to say, the people that want to protest can go on and protest, we will be there.
Relax.
We will be there eating. Such insensitive comments, I want the president to douse tension by, in his independence speech, it normally comes on by 7 o'clock in the morning, and we also understand that it's precast. So they send it out to media houses. So the content should be such that it's able to bring down, the feeling that, look, nothing is going on in Nigeria.
I said it earlier in the course of this show this morning, that government is not pushing out information the way it should. And we can now see that there is a problem in the information machinery of government.
I've always said that. I've always said that.
So government should step up its information machinery, particularly in the presidency.
Somebody like Bayo Nonoga should be telling Nigerians,
yes,
this is the milestones.
And this is the roadmap.
This is the roadmap
towards recovery.
And not just looking for.
Then you now have a marker. You say, okay, this man promised this in October. He has done it. You tick. This one he has not done in October. Why is he not doing it? People will be asking questions. But when you keep mum,
No, not just keeping mum.
And
Insulting people. When you keep insulting people who disagree with the government,
yes,
you know, you begin to spike the anger of
Nigerians. If you want to talk about the president addressing issues, let's go back in time. Let's go back in the not so distant past, where the president addressed the hashtag #EndBadGovernance governance protesters, and from that address, would you say that address doused any tension? Because in my opinion, that address further aggravated things. Now, Nigerians are saying October 1st, they will also come out and protest. And if the president wants to douse the tension, it's not just about saying we are having low-key celebration. Will Nigerians feel part of, will Nigerians feel like their needs are being looked at, their requests are being met? Will he have words to offer Nigerians that will give Nigerians hope? The hope that he said to propagate.
That is the issue. The content of what the president said during the EndBad governance was,
neither here nor there.
Not just that, it was couched in arrogance, it was couched in insensitivity. And
so why do you expect a difference?
That is why I say, away from what they did, during the EndBad governance, there should be a shift. I clearly faulted the speechwriter. The speechwriter acted as somebody who doesn't live in Nigeria, who is ensconced somewhere who is ensconced somewhere in the presidency. What we expect is the president to say, look, like he said, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
But this is what we have done to ensure, that
and
things
provide
get better.
timelines.
Provide timelines. Somebody like the presidential spokesperson, I'm very particular about Bayo Ononuga, because Bayo seems to be fiddling while Rome is burning. He is looking for who to attack, and that is essentially not his duty. It is the duty of the APC spokesperson to attack whoever is on the other side of the political divide. His duty as presidential spokesperson is to showcase the achievements of his principal, defend his policies, and not to be attacking dissenters. So, like Moses, I said, on October 1, I expect the speechwriter to say, look, the president, this is what we feel your pains. We are cutting down on this because cost of governance is an issue. We are doing this and that, to make life better for Nigerians.
Shugaba, let's look at a few things that the government has done. The government said 150 days window for imported goods, tax-free.
For the private sector.
That has not been achieved.
For the private sector.
No, imported goods.
No. Imported goods for private people to import now. You and I.
For private individuals to import.
Now the government turns around.
That has not been done. That
has not been done.
That has not been done. And the government is still importing.
On its own.
Maybe to cushion the
effects.
You see, let me tell you. The sincerity of purpose is lacking in all this. Government should take things the same way.
Sorry. Is it lack of sincerity or purpose or lack of knowledge?
No, sincerity or purpose. Look, these people are intelligent
that was
enough.
below the belt.
You understand? These people are intelligent enough to know.
So what do they stand to gain?
But the point is, you see, most times they buy time. The 150 days window is to buy time, because I don't see any significant improvement that will bring to Nigerians. It's just like I'm hungry, you give me a cup of rice, you tell me to eat. The next day, what am I going to eat? But while you are giving me a cup of rice, somebody somewhere should be planting rice to sustain me for the rest of the year. But in this case, nobody is talking about investment in agriculture. Nobody is talking about trying to douse tension, insecurity in the land, to allow farmers to go back to farm.
So that is essentially why I personally believe is lack of knowledge. They don't know what to do.
But I tell you, if you want to say it, yes, at the risk of saying that they don't understand governance. But the truth about it is they know. You understand?
How can you know what you don't understand?
No, you don't understand what I'm saying. I said they know, but how to go about it.
They know what to do, but
they know what to do, how to go about it is the issue.
But that makes it even worse. That would make people a lot more agitated. Because if you know what to do and you're intentionally not doing it.
But you know that sometimes problems can overwhelm you. that you are thinking of the problem rather than the solution. You understand? So it takes depth for you to look beyond the problem and look at solutions and then plan on how to extricate yourself from that problem. Today, there is hunger in the land. And the only way to go is to bring immediate succor to Nigerians, which was where the government went to say, let's open the gates for importation of food items. And while you are at that, insecurity should have been taken care of.
But it's not. It's not being taken care of. Now, still looking at, sorry, please. Still looking at what the government is doing. This government largely has been giving out palliatives. Palliatives that have not been getting to the people. A lot of the 1,200 bags of 25 kg rice that has been given to ministers hasn't gotten to the people. If at all it gets to the people, it only gets to those that are. Yes. We also have an issue of, there are a lot of them, a plethora of such handouts that are not getting to the people. With this in mind, how will the government assuage tensions?
Now let's look at it. A 25 kg bag cannot feed a family for more than a month.
Mr. Fanimo, if it does, it's the only rice that you eat.
That is the only rice that you eat. That's one. Then two, 1,200 bags
per person.
Per minister, which means 1,200 per state.
No, some states have...
let's assume...
The total bags of rice, 67,400 bags of rice.
Now, let me tell you, if you divide 67,000 by 37, how much do you get? Less than 2 bags to a state. Less than 2,000 bags per state. Now, you want to tell me that 2,000 bags can feed the whole of Airport Road at Jawa Estate in 1 month? No, so even if it comes,
it's poorly thought out. It's poorly.
You understand? So what that means is, even if Ajao Estate is saturated with 2,000 bags of rice, people in Ikeja may not know. People in Oshodi may not know.
People in Ikorodu.
People in the island. Right? So you may not even know. And these politicians, they have a way of doing it. When they get back to the state with their 1,200 bags, it is the political cronies that get this bag. And when they get this bag, some of them will even stash it in their store and it will rot away.
Some will even rebag.
Some will even rebag and sell.
10 kg.
Because they see it as their own democracy dividend.
Their own dividend.
So what we are saying is these things are not well thought out. And it can't get us anywhere. Take 500,000 bags of rice to Nigeria today. It will disappear in no time. But implement certain policies that will make food abundant. Then we have a way to go. Nobody is talking about upgrading subsistence farming to mechanized farming. A farmer can...
It should be long term.
That should be long term.
Why you are using the stopgap? There's another long term.
That's what I'm saying.
Interestingly, at the onset of this administration, I spoke to a farmer who told me that this administration, 6 years ago, came to his farm. They did some sort of research, tried to find out what farmers needed, and they had farmers come together. They had meetings, and there was a layout of the things they needed and how it could be achieved. And this individual, who is a big farmer, gave me the assurance that he believed that in no time, farming will improve and storage will improve, because these were the things they touched on. And Nigerians will have enough food to eat. It's been what now? 16 months? Over that? 16 months since this administration. It brings me back to what Chukwuma said earlier, that they don't know what they are doing, regardless of the fact that they've done research.
Now, you talked about research. Research supposes that they have gathered enough data to work on. So at that level, you can't tell me that they don't know what they should do. Because somebody went out there to take stock and ask the farmers what they need. It is at the point of implementing the outcome of that research that now becomes a problem. And they take some of these things in isolation. If you want to have food sufficiency in Nigeria, you have to design all-year farming. And before you can design all-year farming, the irrigation system must work. Because there are times you need water that shouldn't be rainfall. Irrigation system is not working. Even these water basin authorities, they are no longer working. And dams are overflowing. Some have been abandoned for years. In Oyo State alone, there are about 6 dams. None is functioning. And across the states like that, I remember you said about 323 dams are not functioning.
No, nationwide.
Nationwide. That's what I'm saying.
42 are not functioning.
42 are not functioning.
Yes.
And you are only working on what they dished out to you.
Yes.
What makes you think that if you get there personally to inspect, that you will not have more than 42 that are not working? And yet, these dams are overflowing. And farmers can't get water to nurture their farms.
Are farmers going to farm in some parts of the
Farmers
country?
going to farm with
That's what I said.
insecurity.
Irrigation system, same is insecurity, and then providing support to farmers. Banks don't give loans to farmers. And the Agric Bank, if you go there today, you see farmers with portfolio and Babaringa. These are not farmers. They take this money and go and marry wives, enjoy themselves, go on holidays.
All right, let's get to another paper now. There are some other headlines that appear on The Guardian that also appear in other dailies. But let's touch on, I would like our thoughts on a headline, but that one is on the Nigerian Tribune. Let's have that up on the screen. Nigerian Tribune. The banner headline there is, now this one, Nigerian Tribune says, what Southwest Development Commission will achieve. Well, we do know that Southwest Development Commission has been established, and the senators are assuring Nigerians that there's a lot that will be achieved. And the question on my mind, what has NDDC achieved? Oh, well, some of the headlines from the Nigerian Tribune as well. Oil and gas industry owes FG $6 billion, 66 billion naira, an 80 report. EFCC orders transfer of 1 billion naira recovered funds into Federation account. Senate moves to end $9 billion loss to illegal mining. The issue of Bobrisky. FG suspends senior prison officials. And Oyo records 130 suspected cases of cholera in 6 local government areas. Rates of migration affecting health sector. Obasanjo laments. Tinubu reappoints Chinoko CMD DG. FG to toll Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, second Niger Bridge. Others. Edo INEC presents certificates of return to Okwebolo deputy. I will be servant to my people, governor-elect. Court sentences 5 to death by hanging, 6 years after of our bank robbery. Now, to the banner headline here. Southwest Development Commission. Gentlemen.
Yeah. Really? Close to them.
No, let me come before you. Let me come before you because I know it's your forte. Southwest Development Commission. What Southwest Development Commission will achieve? You know, Moses, if you ask me, the first thing is that, well, Senate has passed the bill, so it's awaiting presidential assent. Like the president just assented to the Southeast Development Commission bill, you know, so we expect that the works, you know, will be rolled out very soon. Now, if you ask me, you know, without even looking for what Mr. Fanimo will say, I will tell you that Southwest Development Commission will achieve a lot.
It will?
It will achieve a lot.
Okay.
Yes. You know why? The Southwest is one of the best in terms of regional integration if you talk about the regions, the zones in Nigeria, their unity is quite intentional. From the onset, they know what they want to do. I can reference Amotekun, what they are doing with Amotekun, and that is what the Southeast governors couldn't do with Ebubago.
Okay.
Also, you understand. Yeah. South I know why Moses talked about NDDC, because Moses knows that I believe that NDDC has been a cesspool of corruption since it was established. Over 37 trillion naira spent in that region. Yet, these people fetch from the same water where they defecate. Their governors, allow me to say, bought a wristwatch worth over 450,000 pounds years back. You know, look at what James Buri did to the people
Amici has aircraft now.
Amici has an aircraft. And now look at what Onyesom Wike is doing. There's always infighting, you know, who is the chairman.
That's why the fight is always intense.
It's always very intense. But the Southwest,
it's all about sharing.
The Southwest, they are so united that when the 6 Southwest governors meet under that banner of Southwest Governors Forum, you see them roll out policies. So the Southwest Development Commission is just an impetus, you know, for them to develop more. Moses, if between Ibafor and Mowe and Redeem, it's difficult for you to differentiate where is Lagos and where is Ogun.
No, there's a link. You can't even trace you know, the demarcation.
The demarcation. And what Seyi Makinde is doing
from Oyo
is also coming, you know, towards Ondo Ogun State. If you go to the area of this area that Dia's place, Odogbolu, yes. You know, that area is just merging. So I think the Southwest Development Commission is going to achieve much, you know, for the Southwest people, because they have that sense of purpose, unity of purpose, when it comes to economy, when it comes to security, when it even comes to nationalism. When you talk about nationalism, the Southwesterner will defend his brother with the last point of blood that he has. I give it to them. So then you can chime in now.
You have encapsulated what?
No, it's better. It's better that it's coming from you.
It's coming from you.
You know.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We will naturalize you. Already you are Babatunde.
Thank you very
much. Well, let's get to real business. You see, when this this commission was formed some years back, I think about 6 years or so ago, it was an offshoot of the Odua Investment Company. You know, and these governors came together to say, okay, how do we have an inclusive policy that will galvanize development and growth? And one of the first things they mooted was to have a rail system round the ring of the Southwest, such that there will be seamless transportation of humans and produce along this chain. Then they also looked at replicating what Awolowo and Action Group did in the 60s, where you have industrial parks across the states. Today, though some of these companies have been taken over by churches, if you go to Adeniyi Jones area and Ikeja area, you see it was designed to be an industrial
Oregu industrial.
Yes. You know. So that's what they are planning to replicate. And they are so intentional about it, and they are working assiduously to make it happen. You see, like he said, the governors blotted out party affiliation at the point of regrouping to resolve some of these issues and shone out policies that would make integration seamless in the zone. So in the next couple of years, we'll begin to see the fruit of some of these things. But the only snag, which will also affect other zones, like Southeast Development Commission, is this problem of having mineral resources under the belt of the federal government through exclusive list in the constitution. You imagine if Ondo State is allowed bitumen exploitation, if Osun State is allowed gold, bauxite, exploitation. And Ogun Belt and Ondo Belt, the coastal areas, still has oil under the sea. You can imagine how they will leapfrog to prosperity. But unfortunately, that is still an impediment. And that is the area we must look into if we want these commissions to succeed. But as for NDDC and what is this one called? Amnesty.
The amnesty program.
Amnesty program. They are just designed for people to come and chop. And it has always been. Today, this year alone, NDDC's budget is about 3.9 trillion.
And there's nothing to show for it.
And there's nothing to show.
Absolutely
All right,
nothing to show for it.
But, Mr. Fanimo, Moses and I had a brief on federal government to toll Lagos about the expressway, in the morning.
Yes.
So I want us to talk. We are pressed with time, so I want us to look at it a little bit of it. My own position is that I don't have a problem with tolling roads. My problem is what do you do with the toll money? Because
that's
like
exactly
I said,
what I want
in parts of the
talk
world
about.
that I have been to,
Yes.
I've been to Europe, I've been to Asia,
Yes.
roads are tolled.
Yes.
But the roads are very well maintained, unlike
Now,
what we
do
have
you know
here.
that as we speak, I ply Lagos-Ibadan Express Road every weekend? Today, I'll be on that road. Do you know that parts of the road have started caving in? And I'm sure that whoever did that road, RCC and Julius Berger, would have signed a contract for maintenance of upwards of
For a
about
period of time.
2-3 years.
Or
after
even
completion.
more.
Or even more. Now, from Ibadan end towards, they call this place Onigari, the road has caved in. Through whatever means. Maybe they didn't do their seismic appraisal or whatever they did, but the road has caved in.
I think there was a conversation around making those roads concrete roads at a time.
I tell you, now
that would have been a
you
better-
remember
better
there was
option.
controversy over takings in these tolls before they were dismantled.
Yes.
Yes.
What? Because there were
Even this airport road,
Airport Road, that was
there was crisis over it.
Yes.
So what are they putting in place to ensure that these monies will not go to private pockets?
Because
at the end of the
that
day-
was essentially the
Well,
problem.
talking
Why
about
was
Airport Road toll, that road is majorly where the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria gets
Generates revenue.
bulk of the money
revenue.
it gets. Now the federal government, you do know that the federal government is asking for 50%
50%.
of the revenue that they get, and I told you that road, just a few meters, less than 100 meters from the toll gate, you will find that there are bad portions on both sides.
On both sides of
Of
it.
And then they
road.
collect money on daily basis.
On daily
Of course.
basis.
On daily basis.
On daily
The number
basis.
of
That's
cars.
the challenge.
In fact, I'm privy to how much they get there per month. Some time back, some years back, which of course would have increased
Oh, definitely.
by now.
Definitely.
It goes into the billions. It goes into the billions. But now those roads have not been fixed. My question now is, well, it's not exactly a question. It's more of
Observation.
Yeah. Should we continue tolling roads when we know that taxpayers' money, taxes are collected to fix roads, provide basic amenities for the people?
Moses,
Why also collect tolls?
The conversation we are holding here is now to ask the government, look, if you have to toll the road, please ensure that you maintain the roads.
That is it.
Yes.
I'm of the opinion that you don't have to toll the roads. These are taking. You're taking
Sorry, Moses,
taxes.
a very quick one, quick one. I like our president. He's a very smart fellow. He's a very smart fellow. For 8 years, the people of the Southeast were asking for a Southeast Development Commission,
Okay.
After the Southeast was ravaged by war, and the 3 R's, reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reintegration, the efforts were not sufficient enough to, draw in the people of the Southeast. Now, Buhari was able to grant Northeast Development Commission, due to the carnage and whatever that happened in
the Boko Haram onslaught and
onslaught.
all that.
And we have the NDDC.
NDDC.
So the president played a very smart one. He first of all came and signed off, assented to the Southeast Development Commission bill. If he had assented to the Southwest Development Commission bill
before
ahead of the Southeast, there would have been katakata. So I give it to the president. It's a good one. And I'm also happy that he assented to the Southeast Development Commission bill. It is now left for the people of the Southeast and their governors
to key
into that process that has been established by the state government. Before now, I had also, in many articles on national dailies, advocated for a Southeast Development Commission, powered by the 5 Eastern states, Southeast governors, and that they should also go to their state assemblies and ensure that a certain percentage of their budget, mandatorily, on first charge, is given to that commission. There's a place in the Southeast where the 5 states converge. All that community has borders with all the five states. So it should have been a very good place, flat land, to site an industrial estate, and bring a lot of businesses into the Southeast. So it's good that
another thing that we have to also appreciate in this is that it provides healthy competition.
Like we had
in the
First Republic.
So that I can boast that my commission had done this and done this and done this, and this is what we are benefiting from it. And at a point, it may even take away our attention from federal government if we do it right.
That is the essence.
That is the essence. So that even when you say you want to contest as president of Nigeria, people will not even take you serious. That you are just going there as a ceremonial president.
Moses, do we still have time to chime in on the Sanusi and Jonathan?
Oh yes, we can do that in about
from 49 billion to 20 billion to 12 billion. And you see, Mr. Fanimo, why are you saying?
Why is this coming now?
It's funny. This man has a penchant for just stirring wahala when everything is calm. Sanusi had been profiled as somebody who relies statistics for political reasons, and when you go and fast check, you discover that he just said it off the cuff. How can somebody allege that 49 billion got missing and now you are bringing it out to 12?
First to 20
and then to 12. Now, where did you get the 49 in the first place? You went out to
Or didn't you do your homework well?
You didn't do your homework well. So now the respect and the aura around him is beginning to demystify it.
And that 49 billion dollar thing came amid the Boko Haram challenge, during the Jonathan administration. So some people also believe that it was one of the tracks that was used to pull the rug under the feet of Jonathan. And he was battling with insecurity and
there's so much.
The Chibok girls had been kidnapped. They had protests were held even in the US, and UK, calling on Jonathan government to leave, and the people that were behind this kidnap and all of those things, some of them were even fingered as being sponsored by the government.
He could have been sacked for any reason. It doesn't even matter why he was sacked anymore. Why is he bringing this up now? Why is he saying this is
and
the
it turns out to say
sacked?
that he doesn't bear any grudge against Jonathan.
Oh well.
The man is a smart Alec.
Is he really smart?
Our time is up on the show. I must say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Dele Fafanimo, a reporter, a public affairs commentator, a VOP
Please keep
in-house
hyping it so that I won't be kidnapped.